Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into a specific moment, a pretty intense public confrontation.
Yeah, this one involves Tom Homan, the former border czar under Trump.
Exactly. And our source material for this is an article called Homan's Fiery Border Defense and Taunts. So our mission really is to unpack what happened in that exchange.
Right. And then sort of zoom out, connect the dots between that moment and the bigger picture of immigration policy back then and how people reacted.
Yeah, because it tells you a lot.
Yeah.
So the scene is set. It's a conservative conference, Homan's speaking, and boom, boom, a heckler kicks things off. Okay, let's get into it. So this all went down at the Turning Point USA Student Action Summit in Tampa, Florida, on a Saturday.
In Turning Point USA, those events are, well, they're pretty significant gatherings for young conservatives, a big platform.
Definitely. So Horman's up there giving his speech, and then suddenly this guy in the audience just shouts out, "Are you an MS-13 member?"
Wow, yeah.
Ugh.
MS-13, of course, being that gang the administration often brought up regarding border security.
Right. But here's the twist, the really strange part. The heckler himself, he's apparently decked out in Trump gear, like an I identify as ultra MAGA t-shirt, a Trump hat.
Seriously, wearing Trump gear while heckling Homan.
Yeah, and apparently even carrying a poster of Homan. It's quite the image. Anyway, the crowd booed him, and security escorted him out pretty quickly.
Okay, so that happens. But what's fascinating here, like you said, is Homan's reaction.
Hmm.
He could have just ignored it, let security handle it.
Oh, absolutely not. He did the opposite.
He totally seized the moment, didn't he? Jumped right on it.
He really did. First, he calls the guy out, challenges him directly, says something like, "Come up here and hand me that picture. Bring it." Real confrontational.
And then gets the crowd involved.
Instantly. Starts whipping them up into a USA chant. Really rallying them behind him against this heckler.
And from there, it just escalated.
Oh, yeah. It turned into this really personal tirade. Homan starts attacking the guy's character, his courage.
What did he say exactly? The source had quotes, right?
Yeah, it did. Things like, "They've got morons like this all over the country." Then, "This guy ain't got the balls to be an ICE officer. He hasn't got the balls to be a Border Patrol agent."
Wow, really personal stuff.
And it kept going, mocking him, saying, "This guy lives in his mother's basement." Then that sarcastic bit, "The only thing that surprises me is that you don't got purple hair and a nose ring. Get out of here, you loser."
So just straight up insults.
Completely. And then, believe it or not, a direct physical challenge. Like, "If you're such a badass, meet me off stage in 13 minutes and 50 seconds.
He gave a specific time.
A specific time, 13 minutes and 50 seconds. And then, to top it all off, this really crude comment about the guy's masculinity.
Ah, the source mentioned that too.
Yeah, he says, "I guarantee you he sits down to pee." Just really raw.
Okay, so that outburst is pretty shocking on its own. But it wasn't just some random flare-up, was it? Kind of fits into a pattern.
How so?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, Homan wasn't just anyone. He was, as the source puts it, one of the faces of Trump's immigration crackdown. Right? A very visible figure.
Exactly. And that crackdown itself, it definitely sparked massive unrest. It wasn't happening in a vacuum.
No, it wasn't. And that aggressive stance, it was official policy. Remember?
Right.
The administration talked about aiming for, 3,000 immigration arrests a day?
Yeah, a huge number. Part of this big push for mass deportations across the country, setting a target like that so publicly.
What do you think the goal of that was? Just sending a message.
Well, likely projecting strength, resolve,
Yeah.
showing they were serious about enforcement. But predictably, it caused a huge backlash.
Right. You saw massive resistance, especially the source notes in places like Los Angeles, these sort of liberal strongholds.
Mm-hmm. There were widespread protests, particularly around early June that year, aimed squarely at ICE raids, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that is.
ICE, yeah. The agency doing the interior enforcement, so people were really pushing back hard.
They were. And it just shows you the deep, deep divisions that whole approach created. And thinking about the administration's reaction to the pushback, it wasn't exactly subtle either.
No, not at all. The source mentions Trump sending in thousands of National Guard troops.
4,000 Guard members plus 700 Marines, specifically to handle the unrest related to these policies.
Even when the governor, Gavin Newsom in California, objected to it, they did it anyway.
Right, over the governor's objections, which is quite a move, a real show of federal force against state-level disagreement.
And through all this, all the protests, the political fights, Homan himself remained totally defiant.
Sticking to the plan.
Completely. He's quoted saying something like, "We're going to do the job that President Trump gave us to do." Just unwavering.
So that confrontation with the heckler, it wasn't just about Homan losing his temper then.
Not entirely. I mean, maybe partly, but it also reflects that broader dynamic, shows how personalized things got, even within, what looked like the same political side.
Like the MAGA gear heckler situation.
Exactly. Disagreements turning instantly into these really personal ad hominem attacks. It mirrors that larger polarization where the actual policy debate sometimes got drowned out by the sheer aggression.
So what does this all mean when you put it together? It feels like this one kind of wild, fiery moment.
Yeah.
It's actually like a window, isn't it? A way to see these bigger national policies, the really aggressive tactics being used.
And the intense reactions they caused. From all sides, really.
Exactly. It shows how deep these issues run and how even just one guy shouting in a crowd can sort of crystallize the whole conflict. So we've just unpacked that, surprisingly intense moment with Tom Homan and the heckler.
And looked at how it really shines a light on the bigger picture, the deep divides, the aggressive strategies around immigration policy during the Trump years.
It certainly does.
So thinking about this whole thing deep, this specific, really charged incident and the context around it, what does it suggest to you, the listener, about how we talk about politics now, especially controversial policies?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do these kinds of public, very personal blow-ups actually shape the debate that follows? Or does it just muddy the waters?
Does it move the conversation forward or just entrench people more?
Something to think about. And that's where it gets really interesting, right? What happens after the shouting stops? Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive today.